Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to Jazz and Marty. I'm Marty, and I know it's been a while, but unfortunately, during these trying times, me and Jazz are considered essential employees. So we've been working in these essential streets. You feel me? But that's neither here nor there. Everybody stay safe and stay healthy during this trying time. All right, but I'm super excited about today's video because I've been working on this video for a while now. Today we're going to be making DIY fake gold records, okay? Now, I'm not going to do a whole bunch of talking. We're just going to hop into this thing, all right? But before we do that, here's a word from our sponsors. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. I'm Marty. And when I'm not making DIY and craft videos, I'm making love ballads that you can DIY and craft to. And you can own my collection today.
Introducing Crafting in the Key of Love, Crafting Ballads by Marty. It could be yours for one easy payment of $26.99. And if you're thinking, damn, that's high, it includes such hits as Glue Gun, Glue Sticks.
Glue gun and glue sticks. All night long.
Hobby Lobby.
I wanna be your hobby girl. All night long.
And the smooth jazz classic, Cardboard Sacks.
I'm trying to have some cardboard sacks all night long. Do you want a little cardboard sacks, baby?
If you act now, you'll receive Marty's holiday album, Glue Gun and Glue Sticks at Christmas time.
Glue gun and glue sticks in Christmas time.
Plus, if you order in the next 5 minutes, we'll bring the price down to $16.99. Just make a one-time credit card payment to Crafting in the Key of Love at www.craftballads.info or 1-800-000-0001.
Alright, so here's what you need. A glue gun and glue sticks all night long. Scissors. Gold spray paint. A glue stick. A piece of paper. Poster board. An 18 by 24 poster frame. A record, preferably one that needs a little time away from society. I'm looking at you, R. Kelly. A pen, and a computer. Alright, really quickly, so I know everyone isn't computer savvy or have a computer on hand, and that's okay. So I'm going to put a couple timestamps in here so you can navigate to things that you're interested in or relate to you. Okay, so if you're using the computer, what you need to do is you need to take pictures of yourself. You also need to grab that piece of paper and the spray paint, and you need to spray paint the side of the paper and also take a picture of that, okay? Now send all of those to yourself to download to your computer, and you need to download Adobe Illustrator, okay? They usually have like a 14-day free trial, so you shouldn't have to pay anything for that. Alright, now if you're not using a computer, go to this timestamp where I can tell you a website that can do it for you, but you have to, pay a couple dollars to them. Alright, now go to this timestamp where you can just see me make it, just see me put it together, okay? Now, if you're taking pictures of yourself and you're having a little trouble, you can download the, I think it's called Piscas?
It's called Picasso, like Picasso, the painter. Idiot.
The app that turns your photos into artwork. Download that. You probably have to pay for the HD part of that, but just to give you a little bit of range if you can't think of anything as far as your album artwork goes. Okay, alright, now let's hop into this thing.
Warning. If you're not interested in using Adobe Illustrator, this next part is about to get boring AF. So I implore you to fast forward to this timestamp right here. But if you are interested in using Adobe Illustrator, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Alright, y'all, once you download Adobe Illustrator, you want to open everything up, and you want to come right here to File, and when you hit File, click New. Alright, and when you do that, this box will pop up. So right over here on the right hand side where it say width and height, you want to do 16 by 20. Then you want to hit create. This will create the background that we'll be working on. Alright, so the next screen that pop up should be this. Now we want to head over here and use our selection tool and select the rectangle tool. Okay, then you want to double click on this gray area right here. It's going to pull up this box. Now what this box does is if we type in our measurements, it'll make a box that's that size. So let's make another 16 by 20 box. Now we want to use our selection tool and move it right here to the center of our artboard that we'll be working on. Now for good measure, I like to come over here to where it says object and lock it down. That way that no matter how much I touch it, it won't move until I unlock it. Alright, so the reason we kept choosing 16 by 20 is because that's the proper poster size that all of our stuff will fit nice and neatly on. Okay, alright, so now let's start on the album artwork. The album that we're going to be mimicking is this that's to my left. It's just something that I whipped together really quickly. Alright, so now let's head over here to our left hand side and select our rectangle tool and then double click on the dark gray space. Now we want to put in 12.5 by 12.5 because our album covers measure 12.5 inches by 12.5 inches wide. Alright, so let's drag this over using our selection tool. Now we can change the color over here where it says fill and stroke. So let's change it to black. Alright, so now let's work on this picture right. Alright, next we want to go to where our pictures are that we downloaded to our computer, and we want to drag and drop it into Adobe Illustrator. Alright, now you want to go over here to where it says crop image on your right hand side, and you want to click it. Then select OK. Now it'll bring up a box like this. You can move it, you can move it over, you can stretch it out, whatever you like. So I'm just gonna make this a tad bit smaller, and then I'll press enter to crop it, and there we go. Alright, now do you see these little boxes in the upper corners of our selection? If you click them, you can move your picture around or your shape around, or you can stretch it and all that other stuff, things like that. Alright, but if you click it and you hold down the shift key, you can make it smaller or bigger without distorting the photo. So let's make it smaller. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Alright, perfect. Now we can bring it into our album art. Alright, so next let's select our black square right here, and then head over here and select our eyedropper tool so we can change the color. Now you can change the color by pressing the fill to your right, but if you use the eyedropper tool, you can get more selections to the color that you're looking for. So I want it to be the same color as my sweater, so I'll just click on the sweater. Boom, there we go. Okay, now let's start working with the text. So you want to select your text tool that's right here to your left, and you want to click it, and you can start typing on your screen. So let's type Marty. Alright, so now we want to scale it up just so we can see it a little better. Hold down your shift key, and there we go. So now we can change the text over here on your right where it says character. So you want to select the text with your selection that you have over here to your right. Alright, then you want to select your text, and it changes it to that text. So now let's change it to this color right here. So once again, we want to grab our eyedropper tool and head over to our sweater or whatever color we're choosing to use, and you can change it to that. This looks about right. Might be a little bit off, but that's okay. Alright, so now let's use our selection tool, and you can turn your font around. Alright, now let's bring it up to our artwork, and we can scale it up just a little bit. Alright, and then if you stretch your artwork out without holding the shift key, you can fill it out just a little bit. Alright, so now let's work on this text right here. Select our text tool again and type out, where are my scissors? And then scale it up so we can see. Alright, next you want to change the text again to whichever text that you like. Okay, once we have our font the way that we want to, we can head over here to where it says Object and click Expand. Hit OK. Now this will change, you'll be able to change the shape of your text. You can select it, move it up and down, things like that. So let's select the where or my part. And ungroup it. Alright, so now we're going to use our, what is this called? Direct selection tool and just select the where or my part. Okay? Now we want to group those together. Then we can group our scissors together. That way if I select this, it'll only select where am I, or if I select the scissors, it'll only select the scissors. Okay, now let's select the where am I again and scale it down. Alright, now we can move that right over here to the top of our scissors. Let's bring it up just a tad. Okay, now we can group it back together. So select all of them and select group. Now if you're having issues with the selection tool, all you have to do is hold down the right mouse button and then drag, and it'll select whatever you drag over. Alright, so now let's select our text again and scale it up a little bit more, and let's change the color of that to white. Alright, let's give it a little turn and bring it right up here to our artwork. Now if we select it again just by clicking it and hold down the Alt key, we can duplicate it. Alright, so now let's change that, the second color underneath, to black. It'll be its shadow. And let's change the opacity of that to about 75. Alright, now we want to select this and bring it over to where our shadow is. Move it up just a bit. And there we go. Alright, now let's work on the plaques. Alright, now to start on the plaques, you want to head to the file location where your pictures are, and you want to drag the photo of the piece of paper you spray painted into Adobe Illustrator. Alright, here it is. Now let's scale it down and turn it around. Alright, now that seems good. Okay, now let's crop it. Hit OK. Alright, so one of our plaques is 3 inches by 3 inches. So let's do that first. Alright. Now, let's do that over again and do it for this plaque right here. Bring our photo in. Scale our photo down. And turn. Alright, now let's crop it one more time. And this time we want to make it 2 by 6. Alright, now let's select our rectangle tool and double click the empty space. Now let's do the 3 by 3 first. Okay. Alright, now over here where our appearance are, where our fill and stroke is, you want to click on the fill, and this line right here will make it clear. So you want to select that. Then you want to head over to our stroke, which is underneath. Select it, and let's make that black. Okay. Now let's bump up the stroke about 6. And move it over to where our plaque is. And that will make our border. The stroke is just a fancy word for the border. Okay, now let's do the same thing for this one. Select our rectangle tool, double click the empty space, make our width 6 inches and our height 2 inches, and then hit OK. Then we head to our stroke, make it black, and then bump it up 6. Then you bring it right over to our black. Alright, so now let's select our rectangle tool again. Head over to where our plaque is, and we want to draw out a square. Right to where we feel like it looks good. Let's bring this down to about 1, 2. Sorry. Alright, and there we go. Now we're doing the same thing for this. Next, we want to take our type tool, and we can use our type tool and then just type the words that we want our plaque to say right here in the center of our plaque. Now, if you're curious as to what my plaque says, let's zoom in so we can see. It says, presented to Marty to commemorate the sale of more than a bajillion copies of the J&M Records long-playing record album, Where Are My Scissors? Okay? So all you have to do is just type that, just like you would type anything else, into your box over here. Alright, now once we finish, we should have something that looks like this. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to make a quick logo using the type tool. Nothing fancy. Alright, so let's say our record company is called Not Fake Records. Alright, you want to use our type tool, type it out, and scale it up so we can see it. Now you want to select the object, then expand, and hit OK. Alright. Now you want to use our direct selection tool and kind of center everything out. Then select our selection tool again and move it over till it's at a space where we like it. Now let's take our rectangle tool and we can draw out a line to put through it. And here's just a quick logo that you can put right here in this small plaque. Now the small plaque is optional, but just to help fill it out, you can use it. You don't really have to if you don't want to. Alright, now let's take our logo and bring it right up here to where our plaque is and center it. And you should have something that looks like this. Alright, now let's work on the sticker. Alright, now our sticker is just a mixture of our type tool, our logo that we made, and the circle tool. So let's head over to where our rectangle tool is, hold it down, and you want to select the ellipse tool. Okay, then you can double click the blank space, and let's make this 4x4. Alright, now let's change the color. We can use our eyedropper tool for that, and select the color that we want. Now really quickly, let's make the little black dot that's right there in the center of our sticker. So we want to use our ellipse tool again, make a small circle, change the color to black. Then we want to select both circles, and you want to align them vertically and horizontally, and that puts that circle right there in the center. Now you want to drag it to our artwork. Now you can select your logo and use the Alt key to duplicate it. And now let's change the color of that to white. Let's bring it to the front first. Select Object, Arrange, and bring to the front. Now let's change the color to white. Then we can scale it down and center it on our sticker. Next, all we want to do is just take our type tool to mimic this. Let's zoom in so you can get a good look at it. All your sticker is the name of the album, the name of the song, and the time length of the song. And we can use our type tool for that. Alright, and when you finish, you should have something that looks like this. Alright, now let's save it. Now let's get rid of this. Let's select it. Then hit edit and clear. Make sure everything is to our liking. Head over to file. Export as. And I like to save mine as a PNG. You can do JPEG or whichever one you like. Let's make it 1.2. Hit export. And make sure where it says resolution right here at the top, you make it the highest resolution it is, which is 300 ppi. Should have something that looks like this in this tiny box below, and then hit OK. Now, the final thing you want to do is wherever you want to go get your poster printed out at, Walgreens, Walmart, Office Depot, things like that, just make sure it's a 16 by 20 size. Upload your file and then have it printed out. Then you can move on to this next step.
Alright, so if you don't have a computer or you don't want to do the whole computer thing, that's fine. So what you want to do is head over to a website called Fiverr.com, and it's a whole bunch of graphic designers on there. You just have to make your choice, but specifically find someone who uses Adobe Illustrator. Okay, so you'll basically want to tell your graphic designer, hey, I want to make a gold record case, a gold record album, and tell them that you need it to be on a 16 by 20 background. The album needs to be 12.5 inches wide by 12.5 inches long. Okay, the sticker needs to be 4 by 4, which is 4 inches long, 4 inches wide. Okay, one of the plaques, the longest plaque, needs to be 2 inches high and 6 inches long. Okay, and then the other plaque needs to be 3 by 3, 3 inches wide, 3 inches long. You'll tell the graphic designer what you want each plaque to say. You'll also give them a reference picture of how you want your album cover to look. Okay, make sure you send them a photo that they can use, and make sure you be very clear about the measurements and things that you want. They usually have a really quick turnaround time, so it probably shouldn't take them no more than, I don't know, maybe about like a day or so. Sometimes it can be done in a few hours. Alright, so now let's go ahead and finish this thing.
Alright, once you have your poster printed out, you should have something that looks like this. Alright, now let's cut it out. Now you want to take this and set it to the side. Okay, next you want to take your spray paint and your record, and you want to go outside and you want to spray paint it. When you finish, you should have something that looks like this. Okay, next you want to take your poster frame and you want to take the plastic front, you know, the part that acts as the glass, and you want to remove it. Okay, next you want to take your poster board and lay it down. Then you want to bring your plastic front over and you want to make sure it's lined up with your poster board. Okay, next you want to take your pen, you want to trace around this plastic, and then you want to cut it out of your poster board. Alright, you should have something that looks like this. Alright, now we want to take the cardboard from our poster frame and we want to bring it over and we want to line everything up correctly. Then we want to glue our poster board to the front of our cardboard using a little bit of our hot glue. Alright, and when you finish, you should have something that looks like this. Okay, finally, we want to bring everything over and we want to line it up like this. Okay, now a word to the wise, you want to use your hot glue to glue the record down, but you want to use this glue stick to glue everything else down. Okay, and the reason that is because if you use hot glue, it can make this poster paper lumpy and bumpy versus this glue stick that will make everything look kind of smooth. Alright, and when you have that done, you want to put your poster frame back together and you're finished. Alright, now let's go check out the finished product. Alright, y'all. Now, if you like that video, please like, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe, y'all. It's like I'm joking. And don't forget to head over to the Jazz and Marty Facebook page where we always posting updates on DIY and craft videos. And like that, this will be the end. Peace.